Am I the asshole for not wanting to accept my husband's affair child? My husband and I have been married for 7 years. Happily, I thought. We have 2 girls 5, 4 and 2 boys 2 and unborn. He's due any day. I lost my job back in March due to the pandemic, and it's been so nice being a stay-at-home mom to the kids. Our 4th child is due any day now, and about 2 days ago I received a bombshell. My husband had an affair. It broke me to the core. He is the love of my life. Then he hit me with the second part of the news: they had a baby about a month ago. He's about 2 months early and in intensive care, and his mother is an addict and was arrested, and they want custody to go to my husband. He told me I let myself go all these months and that it was a moment of weakness. He's telling me that we could still be a happy family and that his baby needs a father. Am I the asshole for not wanting any of this? His side of the family is calling me a monster for turning away a child in need. I feel like I'm living a nightmare. Not the asshole. Either seek marriage counseling or file for divorce. Your husband doesn't get to use his love child to guilt you into accepting his philandering.
Not the asshole. Get yourself in for a STD test ASAP. Addicts are not known for being careful with their sexual health, and obviously he was fucking her with no condom. After that, call a divorce attorney to find out what your options are and, if possible, move in with family until after you give birth and recover somewhat. You don't have to make any legal decisions immediately. I personally think divorce is the best thing for you and your kids. He cheated, blamed you for letting yourself go, and wants to stick you with raising his cheat baby. He has no remorse for what he did or what it will do to your family, but you do have time to think. Get some counseling for yourself, too.
He told me I let myself go all these months. He what now? You're pregnant. You didn't let yourself go, you started growing a human. How dare he put this on you? Not the asshole.
I've never wanted to run away, but oh how I do now. I wish I could just dig a deep dark hole and lay in it in the fetal position and pray this isn't happening. My best friend, love of my life, has lied to my face so many times. So many nights of working double shifts for us, so many side jobs for us, so many lies. I doubt he would have even told me had he not been having this custody situation. Here we are days away from having a new child, and it feels so tainted. All this stress, and he may come tonight. This is so terrible. You need to leave is the answer. Pack your kids and go. He doesn't get to act happy when he's blaming you for his affair. If he wasn't happy with you, it was simple: tell you or leave. Not fuck someone else.
Whoa, hold the effing door before we slam it in his face. You let yourself go. He's blaming you for being a lying, cheating sack of poop. His family can take care of him and his child in need of. They're so frickin' concerned. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. Holy fuck, so much not the asshole. He told me I let myself go. What the hell? He's blaming you for not getting his dick hard enough, and that justifies why you need to now take on his affair baby. Divorce him, please.
Not the asshole. Divorce him and get those child support payments. Info. Are you planning on staying with him?
File for divorce and child support now so your 4 kids have the first claim.
Not the asshole. He's not even sorry. If you stay with him, he will make you take care of the baby while he goes on to have his next affair. Don't do that to yourself. You and your kids deserve better. Get through this birth, get tested, and rally friends, and family for support. When you are up to it, see a lawyer. No easy answers. Your husband is a scumball. Do you plan to stay with him? See if the woman's family can take the child. And insist on a genetic test.
Let yourself go, but somehow an addict was not letting themselves go. Logic.
Has he done a paternity test? If not, he should. Also, please get yourself tested for STDs prior to giving birth. An STD can hurt the baby in a vaginal birth. And let it sink in. You have to get checked for STDs because your husband had unprotected sex with an addict.
If you accept the child into your home, you need to honestly accept it on all levels. The child is innocent and certainly didn't ask for any of this. If you can't do that, then you need to live apart from your husband.
Not the asshole. What he did was wrong. That being said, you can't turn back the clock or erase a child. Don't make this a Got Stark, Jon Snow situation. If you can't accept this child and give it the love and compassion it needs, then walk away. He didn't ask to be brought into this world under those circumstances. If you choose to stay with his father, then never let that child think that you hold any resentment towards him or treat him any different. Not the asshole. He's trying to use the fact that the baby is premature to guilt trip you. You have every right to refuse it.
Geez, I'm sorry for all of this. Not the asshole. Your husband sounds like a real jerk. You let yourself go. Yeah, sorry I wasn't a pregnant SAHM to 3 in high heels and a lace teddy during a pandemic. I don't blame you for not wanting to get involved in this, and I don't think you're obligated to. I think this is a little above our pay grade, and I certainly have no idea what I'd do in your shoes, but I wanted to say you're definitely not the asshole here.
Not the asshole. Yeet him into the sun.
Not the asshole. What everyone is saying. And it seems he purposely kept his affair a secret until the baby was born, so you'd be hit with the moral conundrum you're currently facing. Leave him because he cheated or stay because there's a child in need. This one situation is one he'll never be able to come back from in your relationship. You could try marriage counseling, but you'll be raising his affair child and spend every day being reminded of his infidelity and present behavior.
Not the asshole. This child is likely to be special needs. Are you ready for that? With a man that is trying to manipulate this into being your fault?
Not the asshole, but you should leave him and take the kids. Minus the outside baby, of course.
Not the asshole. 1. Seek a therapist. 2. Seek a lawyer. 3. Seek a doctor and do STD exams. And decide from there. In my opinion, the ideal situation would be you two divorce with 50-50 custody of the children, and he pays you child support until you can get your job back, in 1 to 2 years. Or if you two love each other, you can still try marriage counseling. But if you want to stay with him, you also gonna have to treat this child the same as his siblings, and that will be emotionally draining. Not the asshole. You don't need to accept this child into your home. It's a tough situation you're in because that child will be your children's sibling, but again, you don't need to accept the baby. This also means that if your husband is not okay with this, you will have to make the decision of ending the marriage. Get yourself a lawyer too. If he's willing to mess around with drug addicts, your children should not be with him unsupervised. There might be more to him than you know. Feel sorry for the baby who's in the middle of this. Some people aren't fit to be parents.
Not the asshole. Get yourself and your children for drug-related diseases and STI. If he is having sex with drug addicts, I don't imagine she is the first or the last. Cut your losses and move on. Get him on child support fast before the other woman does. First to the table always gets the biggest piece.
Wow. This situation is complicated. You're the victim of cheating and therefore not the asshole. The situation with the baby gets more complicated. The baby isn't innocent in all of this. I guess the question is whether you and your husband want to stay together, and if so, then determine custody of the child. After some serious marital counseling.
I'm wondering why he waited 7 months to tell you. Why didn't he say something the second he found out he got this girl pregnant? Welcome to Am I the Asshole? Please view our voting guide here, and remember to use only one judgment in your comment. Help keep the sub engaging. Hashtag Don. Downvote assholes. Do upvote interesting posts. Click here for our rules, and click here for our FAQ. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit. Message composed to Amy the asshole if you have any questions or concerns.
Not the asshole. First of all, your husband chose to hurt you and then blamed his mistake on you. It isn't on you to fix this, or to take care of his mistake. It's also not your fault that he had a child with someone completely unfit to care for a child. It's his problem. No one gets to blame you for not wanting to deal with that, and fuck him and his family for trying to guilt you into that. The one thing I will say is don't blame the child. The baby didn't ask to be born, and while it's a lot to ask, don't resent that child. That's not me saying you should raise that baby, mind you. Again, it's your husband's fault. But your issue should be with your husband, as he's the one who hurt you and jeopardized your marriage. You have enough on your plate as is.
Not the asshole. He was the one who stabbed your back on you and his own 4 kids with another one due. NTA. How horrible. I'm so sorry. He cheated on you while you were pregnant with his child. I'd call him a monster. If you don't want to be in this relationship anymore, then don't be. He made his bed. Now it's his job to lie in it, not yours.
Not the asshole he is. You let yourself go. What the fuck does that mean? You give him 4 kids and he can just fuck whoever. Dump his ass.
Not the asshole. This is where you get a lawyer and a counselor for yourself.
Not the asshole. I'm sorry you're going through this. His mistakes are not your responsibility. It's horribly cruel of him. You're completely innocent of all of this. That was a breach of trust and not at all deserved. If you can find it in your heart, don't forget that the child is innocent in all of this. You don't have to take the little one in, but maybe just hope she can find a good home. There are plenty of them out there. Don't hate the baby and don't hate yourself. It's your husband that did this.
If he was born 2 months early, then he was likely conceived in January or February, so before Corona, and before you could have let yourself go all these months, and you also would have been a month or 2 pregnant, and still wearing the same clothes. His excuses are flimsy and hollow and you need to get rid of him. Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. Please divorce this guy and block anyone who tells you to settle and go back to that loser. You deserve so much better. Him blaming you for his cheating is the cherry on top of this shit sundae.
Not the asshole. He can raise that child outside of your marriage just like he made him. File now, and see what services are available to you and your kids while you get your new life sorted out. If his family is concerned about his child, they can help. You are under no obligation to raise this child if you don't want to.
He can go be a father, but he will not be a father to his kid under your roof. It's not your kid, so it's not your obligations. Not the asshole. You've been told the mother is an addict and arrested, not dead and out of the picture. That poor kid. And holy fuck, the impending drama of a junkie mom showing up sporadically for visitations. This is too much for anything but F that guy and his "you let yourself go" bullshit.
Not the asshole. I feel for that child, but you are completely innocent in this situation. Your husband has made his bed, and he needs to lie in it.
Not the asshole. Don't let him or his family play on your emotions. If you don't have FSD Miley of your own to support you, I hope you have friends. If not, call an attorney. She can point you to a support group. You need an advocate right now.
I'm going to go with Esh. You are 100% entitled to not want anything to do with the baby. I get it and I would do the same. However, your husband needs to take his responsibilities in all of this, so the way I see it is either you dump him or you take the kid in. Wanting to stay with your husband and at the same time pretending the kid doesn't exist would be an asshole move to me, especially because that would mean foster care. On a more personal note, please dump him. You deserve better.
Not the asshole. Divorce him and take your kids. I feel sorry for the woman he cheated with as well. If she's an addict, it sounds like he was probably taking advantage of someone in a dark period of their life. Hopefully the baby is okay and has a happy childhood, but they are not your responsibility. Your husband chose them over you and is trying to make you take responsibility? Hell no, let that asshole be the one to deal with the consequences of his own behavior. Prioritize yourself and your own kids. I'm so sorry that you're going through this. Do you have any friends or family who you and your kids could stay with? Or really, you could try kicking out your husband.
Whoa. Definitely not the asshole. This is literally abusive. He is blaming you for cheating on you? That's not how that works. His actions are his sole responsibility, and any consequences to his actions are his fault. As harsh as it sounds, the baby is not your responsibility. You do not have to hate the baby to not want to be involved at all. And I understand that this would be difficult, but I really hope you consider leaving him. Taking the kids and staying with family or friends until you can get back on your feet. He clearly has no respect for your relationship, and given how he is acting now, I doubt this is magically going to become a better situation.
Not the asshole. Your husband needs to go fuck himself with a rusty spork. Really consider divorcing him. This is too messed up. Not the asshole. That is not just a child, that would be a constant reminder of the most painful thing anybody ever did to you. You do not have to take on that responsibility. But if a paternity test shows that the child is your husband's, then he does have to take on that responsibility, so you have to decide what that means for your relationship. But the fact that he tried to blame his affair on you is a huge red flag. If he can't take responsibility for his own poor choices, then he will make them again.
He got with a drug addict. Lol, you really think this man should be around your kids? Leave. Not the asshole. You would be a saint for accepting this child, but you're not an asshole for refusing. The child is your husband's responsibility, not yours.
Not the asshole, not that it matters, more pressing concerns. Get an STI test ASAP. Your health and the unborns must be the priority before you start dealing with the shit parade. Please do this. He was fucking an addict, and not to judge, but sharing needles and sex for drug money are all too common for addicts. Also, you don't know who else he has been fucking and clearly can't take his word for it. You are at high risk right now. Get checked. Best of luck and all my best wishes to you.
Not the asshole. His side if the family can adopt the kid. It's not the kid's fault, but not your fault either. Seriously, he can be Uncle X to the kid and be in his life. Would he rather have sole custody of one child, or be parent to 4 and be the cool uncle to another?